Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Hamlet for episode number 17. We're picking up where we left off. We're literally just going to get our fields prepped and sown. So we had to buy some lime and I totally forgot I nearly broke. So I probably could have got away with 2, but I bought 4. Anyway, yeah, new field we got. We're going to prep it. We're putting Spelt in one field. We put triticale or whatever in the other fields. I know I looked at the crops and said, right, this is what we're going to put in, and now I've totally forgot. We have buckwheat in anyway, so we're going to run with, what do we got? We had 2 of them. We had rye and we had spelt. That's what it was, rye and spelt. Doesn't really matter which goes into which field. Need to get some lime down on this field first because there won't be any on it. And yeah, we've done it is saying there's a crop in there, but that's I don't know why. There's nothing growing. We're going to plough it. I just want to get the lime down before I plough it, and we're going to plough this up. Then we'll have to do the usual stone picking and get the seed in the ground, get the fertilizer on it and get it rolled. The sooner we get a direct drill the better. Just save a bit of time doing stuff going forward, but you know, money hasn't been up that high to actually consider doing that. It's always been, we've been always struggling by. We've been getting by. We're not broke, so we're not exactly broke yet. We've got 1,800 in the bank. But we haven't been flush enough to buy much new equipment. The tractor was the first new bit we bought, really, as in the first new tractor we've had. We've had all second hand up to that stage, and why are we starting to put the hours up on it? And we're going to again, because like there's 10 hours on it now, but let's see what we end up by the end of this sowing season as well, and then the contracts. So everything's going pretty good in this series, I have to say. I'm enjoying it. It's slow progress, and that's what I wanted. Temptations have been there to do certain things that would kind of speed it up a bit, even thinking about, well, I put down a greenhouse, and then I go, no, you don't want a greenhouse. I do forestry work? No, don't want to do forestry work. Forestry work just, I think, it can just spoil a hardcore series, if you know what I mean. If you're trying to make something a little bit more difficult, and then you just start doing forestry work and making planks and planks long and wood beams and everything else, then it kind of just it's like a little gold mine, and it kind of takes away from it a little bit if you're trying to do it. Now, granted, I've done it where I've wanted plenty of money, and it is a great way of doing it, but if you just want to progress purely from farming only, you kind of stay away from it. Wallace Aberesca, the triple tile challenge, I start the greenhouses up in November and I shut them down, or I start them up in March and I shut them down in November, so they're realistically only running for the summer months, which a lot of greenhouses would only run for the summer months. You might get greenhouses that are producing lettuce and a few bits and pieces like that during the winter months, but in general, unless you got the big scale greenhouses they have in the Netherlands with all the lighting to simulate the proper type of light and everything else, you don't get the likes of tomatoes or anything like that growing in the far up in the northern hemisphere. You probably get them in the Canary Islands and places like that, which of course, if you know your geography, you know it's just off Africa, so it's more Africa than it is Europe, where it is. That's that bit further south. Anyway, that's part 1 done. I'm going to just load these up. I'm going to get back to the farm. I'm going to get my plough, and I'm going to get stuck into that field. Will it stop? No, I won't get the 2 of them in. Maybe I will, because the other one was partly emptied already. Let's see. Anyway, I'll update you as we're going through this. Right, I'm just getting this field ploughed now after doing the other field with lime when I went back up, I knew it was going to need it. It took very little because it was saying perfect already, or it was saying okay. But I just knew if I ran over it, I'd get it up to perfect. So that's both of them done. And this one is done with manure as well, so we're good to go. I know it'll need a top up once the crop goes in the field, that the manure doesn't give it everything. We'll have to look at getting that spreader leased, but I'll have to look at getting a slurry tanker as well, because we got quite a bit of slurry in the cow barn and we need to use that up too. So we're just out of manure. There's a tiny bit left in the spreader. The rest of it's all gone. So we're going to put either rye or spelt in here, and then the other fields will have whatever one we don't put in here. The only thing that'll throw the spanner in the works is if one of the crops need a planter rather than a seeder. I'm looking at how few stones there is in this, and I'm actually thinking, do I really want to lease the stone picker just for one field? I'll think about it anyway. Yeah, so we'll get these two fields fully done. We'll have to lease a roller again to roll them once they're done. There's no chance of us buying another field, so no point in hanging on to it. If we lease it, we'll get rid of it back. I'm wondering about the other little bits and pieces we have leased that we're not going to really use for contract work. Even the manure spreader, should we just send that back now and be done with it? You know, it's only a couple of £100 a month, but if you let it accumulate for 3-4 months, it's €1,000. Here we go. Just glad I changed over to this plough from the other one. I've done a lot with it, but it reached the end where, right, okay, that one's done. Let's go back to covering a bit of ground a bit quicker, because the contracts are getting bigger, the farm is getting bigger, the amount of times you're using the other one was just increasing. So in other words, I was getting bored with it. Anyway, I'm going to knock this out, decide whether I'm going to get the stone picker or not. We probably haven't got the money for it, to be honest. So there's not that many stones, so turn the blind eye to it this time maybe. Okay, spelt going in the field up near the farm. I done them two wrapping contracts. They were right beside each other, 50 and 51. Really quick, just so we'd have something in the account. Because we ran it down and I accepted the hoeing contract. I'll do that after. I'll get these done first. We have the hoe. We'll be using our own tractor anyway. And the seagulls are back already. They don't waste any time. So yeah, spelt in this one. What did I say in the rye in the other one? Just for a bit of variety. I don't know. They're probably both. They're probably more or less the same. Ready in the same time frame and the whole lot. I don't know where there's a difference in the yields. But still, just to have different crops in the ground, that's all. That's all. We've oats in that field, so we've spelt, we've rye, we've buckwheat. Not a bit of barley or wheat in sight. I did say I was going to put barley in for the cows, didn't I? Or the chickens, cows, what do you mean cows? We don't have any cows. We do have cows, but we don't have cows that eat barley or wheat or rye. I'm thinking back to the old days when I was on my friend's farm. They used to crush the barley to make meal out of it and mix it with other stuff to feed to the cows when they were getting milk. But in this game, it's not something that you give, even when you're making TMR. It's not included in it. I keep forgetting this seeder will actually put the fertiliser in. You can see it is turning green now behind it, so the manure brought it up a little bit, and then solid fertiliser in the seeder, then we'll do quite a bit of it the rest of the way. It'll bring it up. Just saves a bit of money. Yeah, I suppose as we increase the amount of fields we have, I suppose the important target then would be a direct drill, because it would save ploughing, stone picking, which does the cultivation state now. Before sowing, we can just do sowing and rolling and that's it, and then spray the weeds when the weeds come up. So that'd be kind of the next important step as we move forward, just to get a direct drill. There hasn't been anything in the second-hand market. I haven't actually checked it since we came back. Nothing there. It's cheap diesel. Nope. I have to take my time or I miss things. Nope, nothing there. A few mods there that shouldn't be there. I'm wondering why. Because I really was very selective in what mods I loaded in. Some stuff might be base game that looks like mods I have. Because I was kind of just trying to figure out myself, like, the big equipment I'm not going to use on this series anyway. Just that I had as a mod I didn't put in. So there's no point in having to come up in the second-hand market. Slow enough going, doing it. But, you know what, it's fine. Yeah, we can spin around the headland. Provided you remember to lay it down again. That's why I like having the lime on the field, because you can see if you miss bits as you're going through it. Okay, I'll work away at this. I'll update you through the course of this process, this day, the first day in March. We're getting the 2 fields done. I'll be really happy when they're done. We probably won't have a full pallet of wool by the end of the episode. I don't think they produce it that quick, but you never know. Cows are producing milk. What I'm most interested in is when the Highland cattle reproduce. I suppose there's only 12 in there, so I may keep them until they reproduce again, and then sell off because they are beef cattle. I'll sell them off. When I was playing on Kinleg, that's what I used to do. I'd a barn that held 150, I'd 75, or 100, 150. I'd 75 in it. As soon as they reproduced, I sold off the 75 elder cows and made a lot of money from it. I'll just keep doing the process of feeding them over and over and everything else, and then just as soon as they'd reproduce, you'd start a new batch, and that was it. So I'll probably do something similar here. I'd like to get them out of there eventually and buy that meadow across the way. It's 104,000, and put them in the meadow on their own and just keep that meadow just for the beef cattle. But we do need some more land as well for feed, although we can turn one of these fields here into a grass field and make hay in it. So yeah, we have one way around it anyway. Future plans down the road. Yeah. Okay, I'll crack on with this. Last bit of the rolling, the other field's done, and the dog keeps walking back and forth in front of me. And now he's decided to lie down. You! Yeah, that's them done. Fertilised and all, because we have our seeded that fertilises, so makes life easier that way. And here he is again, he's moving again. Been in the field the whole time I've been here. So that just seemed too easy. I suppose it's because the weather's good, it didn't rain or anything, or no threat of rain, or like it's taken a bit of time to get them done, but it's done. And that's it. Now, we jump out, it should be 100%. That's unusual. Just give me the reading before I get into the field. Yeah, yield 125. Pretty good. That's it for our fields for the moment. There's nothing else. Like, we have our rye, our buckwheat, our spelt, our oats, our grass field. We'd need more grass if we fill this pen. Like, I mean, it would be nice. 104. I'm not too sure where we're going to go. I don't know where to go. This side of that road, or go over to this side here when we buy our next. I suppose it doesn't matter. Like, that's loam as well. 68. 100% loam. Are these all loam? Looks that way, doesn't it? Have we anything else? There's the whole map loam. Aha, there you go. There is. I mean, even out here, we still have all the grass around the back. We've all this area. Let's go out. Let's visit. We've all the area over behind here. Now, I don't know what's left in that. 36,000. When we get rid of this, we're going to do something once the grass is out of it. We spent the same money putting that in as the one that was there. But I think if I do move it, if I do change it, I'm going to move it back. And what I might do is use the mod for moving the placeables and actually move this as well and take it back up here somewhere out of the way to give us a bit of space. Either that or move it just back tight to the wall over the wall, the edge over here. But that's not something that needs to be done yet anyway. Our line would be along there somewhere. Yeah, it was running along just at the pen, so it's running along there. So I suppose this is the dividing line. But we do hope to buy this field at some stage, which is 48,000, I think. So that 49, so that would be plenty of grass forever for whatever's in here when it's even full. So anyway, what came up? Any more contracts? No more contracts. Okay, I suppose then there's not much left for me to do than to get hoeing. Go and do the hoeing contract. I'll send this roller back. Take the easy option. At least. And there we go. Select and return. We didn't get charged on extra. Okay. So we haven't been using it that long. One of these we're still leasing. It's not the hoe. I think we're leasing the weeder. We should really send it back. Although we start getting contracts with it now soon. Now where are we going? We're going to field number 48, all the way down the other end. Okay, I'm going to go and get this contract done, and hopefully then it'll generate another one. If not, we're going to be really tight on money at the end of this month. Granted, we're going to have our eggs and a bit of milk, so it won't be. We'll get something in. Won't be a huge amount, but there will be something. Right, we're right at the end of April. We're in a bit of a quandary because we've very little money. I managed to sell the eggs, the milk, the wool we had. We got over 1,000 for the wool we had. We didn't have a full pallet. All we can sell is gone. We've nothing else left in the stock check. I know seeds are coming up and stuff like that, but we do have another 1,000 litres of milk we could sell, but we're okay, I think. Nothing else is getting sold anyway. This slices of seed and that was bought in the second hand. Little Market's just going to be used for selling milk. That's all. It's just because the milk won't work in the co-op. So that's the only reason behind it. Okay, let's see that we get contracts. Nothing else came up. You can see I moved up to the end of the day to see whether anything else would come up. And not a thing. So we're moving forward now into April. First, we should have enough to cover the loan off. I'm doubting it. 4,000 we have, yeah. We got a payment from Red Tape because we used the manure. So let's have a look, see what we got for that. Red Tape logs payment. We got 1,555 or 1,553 for using the manure schemes. And there, no. Natural grazing, no, we're not doing that. We're still natural fertiliser policies. Nothing else there we need to worry about. This is what I'm worried about. This one here. We have some contracts and we can do all of them. Okay, we can do all these. Just means a bit of running around the map. 16 is up the top, 44 is down the other end. Oh, we can't sow corn. Our Seda doesn't sow corn, sure it doesn't. I don't think so. So look. It's only a seeder. We need a planter for corn. Nope. That's a mistake. We'll leave it safe for a minute. Could we get a bargain here and something, because we're going to need one anyway. I wasn't looking for a planter, so I no idea is there one in here that I missed. It won't be really small. It doesn't make sense. I'm going to just have to cancel that. Even if we went for the very cheapest one. Say if you went for that, which is 2.3 metres, and you leased it, it's costing £1,000. You're not getting that from the contract. So that was a mistake on my part. Anyway, gotta go and do this cultivation contract first, and then the hoeing one. Because I've done the hoeing one last month. Other than that, yeah, we're okay. Our rye is Spelt is in this field. Yeah, our Spelt is okay. Our rye is over in the other field, and we're going to field number 16. No, that's the hoeing one. We got the 44. No, 57. We'll get there. If I go through every field on the map, we'll get there eventually. Yeah, at least we know where we need to be. You need about £8,000 in the bank, or £5,000, £6,000 in the bank, and we're covered for all our payments. So it's not. I always had enough until that time. I never had it that close before to not having the money there. 57, yeah, I knew it was next one. It was never that close before, so What was in here? Alfalfa. Now, get a few lines on. Drop it down. On the line. Off we go. Yeah, at least we have the contracts to do to get a bit of money back in, and there will be more probably coming up this month. Our own fields, what have we got? Sorry, I just hit the mic there. The only thing we have is our grass. It's not showing here, but we have our grass field is ready. That's the only thing that is ready. That field, for whatever reason, doesn't show up on the field on that app. It doesn't show up, so I've no idea without going into the field what stage is that. It doesn't tell me it's stage 3 or stage 4, or it tells me nothing. And here's me wondering, is it time for an upgrade on the cultivator? Get something a bit wider, because this will pull it, but we've no money. Right, I'll get this done anyway, and we'll see what else comes up. I did the hay, I cut it and tethered it and windrowed it up and just baling it up now. Probably, well, what were we getting, 4 or 5 bales off this field, or was it 8? Can't remember. We just get it off the field anyway. Still haven't sorted out that contract yet. Just waiting to see. I've done the other 2, okay. Just said, right, I came back, let's get the bale nut. Let's get this knocked out of the way. We need to go up tight to this wall, because there's stuff the other side of the wall from the last time. I'd seen it sitting there after everything was put away. And there is stuff tied to the trees that the windrower wouldn't get, but the pickup on the baler will pick up. So I don't know whether has any other contracts come up. Let's see. We have more hoeing, yeah. And fertilising. We can do all of them anyway. So we got something to build the funds ever so slightly. I took the jewels off because they're getting stuck on in the shed. Because you don't really need them this time of the year. They're really just for winter work, and that's my favourite bush in the world that I just hit. I hate them bushes. They're all over FS25. I always seem to tangle with them. Yeah. I did do 2 runs and going one way and then one run the other way. So these are fairly hefty windrows. I normally wouldn't do that. There's actually 3 runs in one, if you know what I mean, instead of 2. Just want to get the hay away from the sides first. I think it's 8 bales I was getting. It's going to be pretty close to that again. So plan just to get the contracts out of the way and move forward. Just keep moving forward, keep getting our own fields ready, get the stuff off the fields. I would like a production at some stage to deal with, say, the grain we're getting, to make flour maybe or something like that. But it's not a necessity. I did say what we do is on one of the other farms around where there's just a shed and nothing else, might put a production on one of them. We leave the shed there, we'll put a production beside it. Just going to get these 2 bits. If I don't get them now, I know that air won't come back down. And that bit will be sitting on the road until the next time we do the hay. So I'll get this baled up and then we'll see where we're going to go after that. Bouncing across a potato field doing hoeing. It's never easy. Anyway, I worked through the few days. I worked through all the contracts. I got the money back up a bit. Yeah, it's been a fairly dull month apart from contracts. I'm not going to feature many contracts in this series going forward because we're doing a lot. In fact, I think what's going to happen is we're just going to jump forward in fairly decent chunks when we're featuring our own work rather than featuring contract work. Might be different if we do something unusual or something like that, but I don't see much point. We've featured them already before. So many episodes in this series. Kind of just gonna push on with it. If we end up jumping forward where I did the work going through 3-4 months, so be it. Just so we can progress the series, because it is slow. It is going to be slow in regards to the work. Is going to be all contract work. Done a load of fertilisation contracts. Had to use up quite a bit of the fertiliser we had in storage. And hoeing. I've been doing nothing but hoeing. Hoeing. This tractor is great in comparison. I hate when you're going across the potato fields. It just keeps jumping all the time. Best way is just to go up and down. I'm going to get the lines and change them, because it'll fly up and down. Anyway, rambled on for long enough. We're going to call it for this episode number 17 from the Hamlet. Progress in the sense that we have another field and we have 2 fields sown now. We've 3 different crops to harvest when it comes around to it. We've buckwheat, rye and spelt. So we're kind of branching out into that. My next goal is possibly to see, do we try and buy one of those pieces of land with the building on it. I skip every second line. It's easier just to make the turn. And seed can we put down in production. Now, what am I thinking of putting down if I do? Let's go in. I was already in just checking out some of the ones with the buildings on them to see how much they were. Now, go down to 45 grand, I think. Like, could put down the dairy production, but I does dairy stuff. I'm thinking of doing something with our grain moving forward. Now, I'm thinking of putting down, I think it's that one there. Yeah. I think that's the side of it that does. Yeah, I don't need the storage side of it. I don't need the farm supplies. I was thinking of putting that down. Now, in the case of finding a location where it would fit and not look completely out of place. Now, the roadway along here, you could do a lot with this, but you need to own these plots. Originally, I was thinking of putting it down on this plot here, somewhere. I need to clear the stones out. Maybe putting it over here if I buy it, just to have somewhere to go and deliver stuff and do something with the grains and that we're harvesting, and just add a little bit of a farm end to it. Now, the other thing I can do is there's a farm grain mill, which is just a small building. I could put that down, but I don't really want to put it on the farm. But I'll have a look at that anyway between episodes and decide what way. We haven't got the money anyway, number one. We just ain't got the money at the moment. So it's kind of future planning. And that's it. Now, this is almost done. We only have another 1 or 2 up and downs. So we're progressing. And as I said all along, it's going to be a slow burner, this one. It always was going to be a slow burner. I am still enjoying it. I just feel from a point of producing a video, I'm trying to push it, which maybe my best way to do that is not to be trying to do a month of really busy stuff and get that all featured in one video. It may be a case of pushing through a couple of months in one video unless we're doing our own farm work. And that's probably the approach I'm going to take going forward on this, because I've done so many hoeing contracts on this map and so many fertilization contracts. Really, really have. That it's just I can see where trying to make content and keep people interested is just just repeating over and over again what we've done. So for that reason, that's why I want to try and just change things up a bit. Not going to progress any quicker off camera. It's going to be the same. We're going to be doing the work, like hoeing contracts, weeding contracts, stuff like that. All has to be done manually. There's no easy ways around it. It's not like I'm trying to say, right, let's do only contracts that I can actually use power tools and that to complete and not have to do them. No, if I was going to start doing that, I think I'd just end this series. I'm still looking everywhere I go at all these collectibles, but I'm not going to collect them. I said that from the word go. If I did, it would only spoil the series. It'd take that element out of it where I have to get stuck in and do the work. But anyway, we're done for episode number 17. Thanks a million for joining me again. Do leave a comment, let me know what you think. I was looking to see could I place down a production here. Now let's get out. Rather than having it out on the edge of town or miles away, there actually is room in here. Now I don't know what the map object hider hide these cars. It won't. Like, could you stick it in the back of a building where it doesn't look out of place? There's an idea. The only thing is getting in now there with a tractor and trailer would be difficult enough. But you're not going to spoil the character of the map, if you know what I mean. Anyway, that's for another episode. As I said, thanks a million for joining me, and I really appreciate you sticking around, and I'd really appreciate any feedback you want to give me. Go ahead. I'm on 16 kilometers an hour. I was actually driving slower over those ridges. It was at 20, which is what the whole works at. It just looked ridiculous. It was bouncing everywhere. Yeah, that's it. We're done. And until the next one, all that's left for me to do is to say goodbye for now. Until then. Bye bye.